Good morning. Good morning. Good Friday from Los Angeles. Welcome to Power Hour with Sergio. Where is Santa? Is he showing up? We're going to find out. We have, I don't know how many trading days we have left. I think we have, let's see, between Christmas next week, we have like 8 trading days left. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Welcome to Power Hour every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and every Monday and Wednesday, Trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Next week, the schedule is going to be a little different, obviously, because of the holidays. I'm pretty sure markets are probably either full open or half day open on Wednesday. Monday, I'll be back. Friday, I'll be back. But Wednesday, I'm not sure. And I actually what I want to do is I want to do like a town hall kind of a thing on one of these days before the year is out. Talk about what worked, what didn't work for folks. And so for that, I need participation. How do I do participation? I'll post a link in a second. Here's the link of live stream. Today, I cannot go more than an hour. I have, I don't know, I think 6 other plates I need to spin. But I'll go through the positions. I'll go through the pivot that we're working on with my group. There's the link. If you want to join, please click the link and make sure you're in a quiet place with good internet reception so we don't get cut off. So I'll be on until probably about 11 a.m. today. And what's going on? Markets rallied yesterday strongly on inflation data. And I'm not buying any of those numbers. I know what my pocket feels when I go shopping. It's not funny. That includes all the other expenses, obviously, insurance, for example. Our family's auto insurance and health insurance has gone up. Or auto insurance has gone up 42% this year. I live in Los Angeles. Of course, there is a reason for it. I have 2 teenagers now in the policy with cars. You know how dangerous that could be. And insurance companies go, "Oh, you put your 22-year-old, 21-year-old on the policy." Yeah. Well, we'll just jack you up 40%. Oh, okay, cool. So, you know how that goes, folks. But and then the government goes, inflation is 2.6%. I'm like, I don't know. There's a little bit of a difference between 2.6 and 42%. Same thing is happening with water and power bills, and it just goes on and on. There's no way inflation is 2.6, 2.7%. But then markets liked it. We had pulled back a little bit, couple 3% from all-time highs, and then we're going right back at it. Did a couple of profitable trades this week, which was fine. Crypto winter, as the headline says, is the crypto winter going to continue? So Japan raised their rates by quarter basis points to 75 basis points. Their inflation is running hot, obviously, but then their JGB rates are still going through the roof. I did a couple of videos about the carry trade, how that's over now, that all that added liquidity is no more. I'm not saying unwinding. Unwinding is a different story. We'll see if that works or if that happens. It won't be pretty if it did. But was this the news, buy on the news on crypto? I'm not sure. I think crypto is still in a bottoming phase. If you look at just technicals, which that's the only thing I can look at on crypto, really. There is no earnings or whatever, sales and revenue and EBITDA and cash flow. It's just crypto's crypto. I continue DCAing every Monday. I DCA'd some more this Monday. I'll DCA some more Bitcoin only. I am trading all the other surrogates or proxies, such as BMNR, everybody's favorite, BMNU. I'll go through my positions. I'm trying to roll my puts. If I can't roll with the numbers I like, I'm going to take assignment of more shares. I'll talk a little bit about when I'm talking about that position. I'll talk a little bit about how cover calls absolutely turned a $15,000 profitable situation into a $3,000 negative situation. So, what you guys see on the internet is pretty much all the, charlatans Oh, look at me, my cover calls are printing. Yeah, your cover calls are printing because the underlying is tanking. That's the only way your cover calls are printing, but they don't talk about that. They don't talk about all the unrealized losses. They only talk about the realized cover call gains. I'm like, what good is that? You know, the example in BMNU is pretty clear. Last week, stock gets up to 12.5. I'm long 3,500 shares with a cost of 778. That's 5 points. What is that? I don't know, $17,500 or $16,500. This week, stock drops to 5.5. All gone. You know, because I had this 8, 9, 10, 11 calls put out against my shares. Okay, I took in maybe 3, 4 grand. Yes, I lowered my cost basis, but then I'm still underwater. You know, BMNU is still 625. Yeah. So cover calls is no. So what happened? That 15, 16.5 is gone. Now I'm looking at after the call premiums that I collected, I'm looking at a $3,000 loss. What kind of trading is that? I'm not even sure. That's why I keep saying in my group, I hate cover calls. But then, you know, to each their own. Cover calls don't protect you on the way down, and cover calls basically put you in a prison on the way up. Unless you can buy the calls back and then, you know, sell the stock. Obviously, you have your choices, but then most people don't do that. So the pivot of next year is coming together nicely. Creating the 52-week high list that I'm going to trade off of. Again, not just getting rid of all the crazy stocks like the, you know, Oklos and, you know, not quantum computing yet. They're just kind of basing, but all the stocks that we tried to trade this year that go up and down 20, 30 points out of the blue. I'm like, okay. But yeah, the numbers don't lie. So, you know, I'll show the 52-week high list that I'm working on. I think I'm up to 48 stocks now. I'll probably create a list of 100 stocks. And this is the problem with social media and internet, folks. There's a lot of people who think they know what they're doing, and probably do. They're like in, you know, options 101. Oh, I sell puts, I sell calls. I'm like, okay, whatever. And there's many ways to skin the cat. And nothing will replace directionals, folks, okay? Especially if you're good and get on a good horse. But so what else is going on? Oh, I'm talking about the group. If you guys want to join, click join on the YouTube side. Send me an email, sergio@sergiovadian.com. I'll send you the Telegram chat group link where I post all my trades live. And at the end of the day, I'll post a summary every day. And they get a live stream every week, specifically for the members. So if you want to support the channel that way, go for it. I think you'll get a lot out of it. But what else is going on? Let's see. As I said, Japan raised the rates by a quarter, 25 basis points. They have to keep raising. There's no question about it, because their bond market's going to dictate that they raise the rates. Their bond market's just JGB rates are skyrocketing. Interestingly enough, our rates are still going up as well, even after the Fed cut the rates, the Fed funds rate last week. And, you know, the market doesn't care. The market's just chugging along, right? And the important thing to understand is you know, where's the money flowing to, right? I mean, there's always a rotation. So NVIDIA's going sideways, Palantir's going sideways, SoFi's, all these internet favorites, right? Okay, well, where's the money going? Well, create yourself a 52-week high list. You know, I'll show you guys my list. There's about 150 stocks, and they're making 52-week highs, and half of them are bank stocks. Boring, right? Yeah, but boring equals money. If you're a put seller, why don't you sell puts on those? Higher highs, higher lows, going with the trend. So, I don't know. You know, that's what we're gonna do next year. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do next year. You know, I mean, the other stocks are exciting, obviously. MBISs, IRENs, Rigettis, and you know, all these quantum names and AI names and power generators and all that good stuff. Yeah, they're exciting. They move up and down 30 points. Good chance for you to get whipsawed. But I'm just going to stick with that. What that 52-week high list does is also gives you a clue about rotation, where the money's going, where the institutional money is flowing to. And you know, you amend, you update, but then once I get up to 75 to 100 names, we'll start trading, start selling some puts, maybe do some synthetics, you know, all kinds of things, possibility. And so good morning, Mike D68 Peach. Good morning, Ahmed. Traveler, Tallulah, hello. Tender Lover, 124. Ooh, okay, cool. What else I want to talk about? There isn't much really I want to talk about today. Let's just go to maybe some charts and positions, and we'll see where things are at. They sold the Sienas earlier, just made doubled those. But hey, you know what? The key is going to be next year, 10% allocation of account equity and 50% gains, 25% losses will be taken on options. If not, you know, you can let them run a little bit more, obviously. So took about 75% gain on Sienna, which is fine. But let's just go to the screens. Where are we? Ooh, Sienna 225. Yeah, we picked that one up pretty nicely. So this is the SPY, but then let's go to the positions real quick. Actually, there's some options I want to buy on UiPath. 1613. Where are we on those? On to January. January is 28 days now. Maybe go next cycle. Give us some time. Go to January, February. Feb 15, it's $2, 225. Where are the Januaries? We're in the money. 75 delta. Januaries are 154, 165. Yeah, I'd rather pay about another 40 cents. What's the IV on this? 51. February's are 55. Yeah, we're paying a little bit more. Yeah, I want to buy some more time for myself, though. Where are the puts at? January puts. January 16, 15 puts. 16 puts are 75 cents. Nah, not enough juice. 48 IV. And the next one I want to buy is WVE. Wave Life Sciences. This one I like quite a bit. Okay, let's go to the positions first. Okay, I'm long 750 leaps on ASST. That's the Bitcoin play. We'll see where that ends up. That's a lot of ticket for 2026. I'm long 450 of the 2.5s and 300 of the 5s. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. So BMNU, again, I was long 3,500 shares. Cost price is 778. We're at 630. We were at 12.5 last week. Obviously, we're not there. We're 50% down on the shares. However, I had sold before the rally. I had sold 8, 9, 10, 11 calls. So combined, took in, let's see, 2,100, another 1,200, 3,300 on 3,500 shares, about 90 cents. So 778 minus 90 cents, I'm about 6 and change. I'm not selling calls this time. I'll wait a couple days. I'm short the today's expiration, 6 puts at 50 cents. So they're gonna, if the stock ends up here in a couple hours, they're gonna be worthless. So let those expire. I'm also short. I was short 7 puts expiring today, and shorted them at 65 cents. They're at 65 cents. I'm trying to roll them to actually January 6th with 60-cent credit. Let's see if we can do it. If we can't, I'll get the assignment. I don't mind. And I was short the 8 puts at $1. They were deep in the money, so those I rolled them down to 7 puts now with actually 25-cent credit, which is good. And I may put the calls out again, or I may not put the calls out. But my cost basis being 668, I'm not as bad as some other folks are, because there are some people who show up on this channel, they just kind of go, oh my God, I sold the 15 puts. I'm like, yeah, it's not really great. Anyway, so I'm long 5,000 shares of BZAI at 243. Stock is 217. The $3 calls I sold expiring, or see, on stocks like this, I don't mind selling cover calls, collect dimes and nickels, $2 stock, keep lowering cost basis. But on wild stocks like BMNR, BMNU, I'm telling you guys, selling puts is not great. I mean, selling puts is fine. Selling calls is not great. It keeps you tied up. So we'll see. We'll see where the BMNU ends up. If it's above six puts will expire worthless. Hopefully, I'm able to roll them down from 7 to 6s. I rolled 8s to 7s already, and that's it. And, you know, battle continues. I was long 20 Sienna calls about 260. They're a 530 bid now. Yeah, we sold them earlier. Sold them at 4.5 and 5 this morning. That was off the 52-week high list. That's the first trade. That's about it. And actually, never mind. I bought some SOLT calls yesterday at 90 cents, sold them at $1.35 today. That's the 50% rule. So we took those off the table. About 75, 78% cash in the account. I'm just waiting for opportunities, building the 52-week high list. And we'll trade off of those. And a couple of stocks in there are PAS and WVE, excuse me. There's a lot, there's 48 of them. I won't go through all of them, but I'll post some. And actually, here's the 52-week high list, by the way. Here's the 52-week high list, folks. Look how many stocks there are. Okay. A lot of gold stocks, a lot of bank stocks, a lot of insurance stocks, a lot of some new names. A lot of airline stocks, to my surprise. And you can also do this for 52-week low while the market's, if you like shorting things, okay? Let's see how many there are. Look at how many there are. These are making all 52-week lows while the market's 1% from all-time high. If you're holding any of these stocks, you're in hell. Doesn't matter how much the market's rallying. So to me, this shows rotation. This shows outperformance. And this is, you're going with the trend. That's it. I like going with the trend. I don't want to guess bottoms. You know, a lot of folks trade the same 10 stocks, 10 stocks and 10 other stocks like HIMS and, you know, whatever. Some ASTS and Rocket Lab and stuff, although they do trade beautifully. But look, you know, super high beta. When they sell off, boy, do they sell off. They go down 30, 40% in a week. I'm like, do I really want to mess with any of that stuff? I mean, I will. You know, it's a hybrid situation, obviously. And, you know, if you're going to take some directionals, you can take some directionals. For example, I think Bloom Energy is just about the bottom, maybe putting a double bottom. Stock high 147. It's at 87. Rocket Lab could get back into my 52-week high list. Look at that thing that took us, went from 74 down to 37-ish, held the 200 EMA. Now we're back to 70. You know, you could still trade these, but with patience, you got to wait. You just can't just go nuts on these. ASTS, same thing. You know, but a couple of other names. Affirm, I really like. We will trade that. Lemonade, I really like. Yeah, I like 52-week high lists. You know, there's a bunch of stocks in there that I really, really like. And Sienna was one of those. It's 226. Holy shit. Yeah, we just, you know, made a 52-week high, pulled back to 20 EMA, bouncing off of it. Good earnings, good fundamentals. I'd rather trade these than the usual suspects constantly. Oklo, I think, is actually at the 200 EMA. I may give it a crack on that with pretty low risk trade here. In fact, let's look at some calls on that. January, where are we on that? January. Where is the stock at? 84, 85. hundreds are 3. 85s are 8. Yeah, that's reasonable, about 10%. 90 IV. I'm not a huge fan of buying things on Friday, but I think we could give that a shot with pretty low risk. Low was 76 range, right on 200 EMA. Tested it twice. Possible bullish divergence taking place right about here. So Oklo definitely is a possibility. A lot of the big names are moving today, obviously, like Hood. You know, that could have been, that could be bottoming, SoFi, because people love these names, right? And then Palantir moving up to the old high. What happened to, what's that guy's name? Michael Berry? But I'm shorting it, I don't know. NVIDIA. That kind of looks like it's bottomed or basing here, right about here. Actually, that looks decent. What else? Tesla. 52-week high on that, folks. Don't argue with price. A lot of people go, Tesla is expensive. I'm like, yeah. If you didn't know that chart with Tesla, you would be buying it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of trades coming up. But we take our time, stay patient. Oh, the Oklo, actually. I don't want to talk myself into it. What does a synthetic look like on Oklo? There's a couple of other ones, like SMR. Wow, that died 57 to 16. Holy crap. I wouldn't buy that. That's under all moving averages. Yeah, Oklo BE. There's IREN. Yeah, that came down to the 200 EMA. So you got to have patience. 76 down to 32. Where are some of the quantum names? Rigetti. That's retesting the 200-day. That could be an interesting trade. Just a trade, folks. We're not in love with any of these things. Just a trade. That could be a possible bullish divergence on that. IONQ. That's right in the buy zone. QBTS. Looks okay. Actually, that looks better than most of them. Just retested the 20 EMA. That thing came from 46 to 19. So if you're in there, if you want to ride these up and down, knock yourselves out. I ain't gonna do it. I'll pick my spot. So Oklo is definitely a possibility. Definitely bullish divergence possibility. Can we do a synthetic on that? What can we do on that? Let's see. Stock is 85. We can sell the 80 puts. Buy the 85 calls. And sell the 100 calls. That's my target, 100. Okay. About $1.27 credit. So we're selling the puts in order to finance the buy of the call debit spread. How much is that going to cost me? 21 grand. Yep, that's the reason for that. Why is that, folks? Is because it's a volatile stock, and Schwab, I'm with Thinkorswim, which is Schwab. They are charging you everything up front. Yep, they certainly are. Actually, they're charging 50%. There's 500 shares. This is for 5 options. It's about 4,000 per option. Not really equity efficient. 50% they're charging because 500 shares at 80, if you get assigned, is 40K. Okay. Let's go for a little different strategy, maybe more out of the money. Let's sell the 75 puts. Buy the 100 calls. And sell the 120 calls, which are not worth much. This is for January. That's $1.78 credit. That's better. And assignment on this 75 if possible. That's the old low. And it's costing me 17,000. which is half of 35,750. That makes sense. I may do something like that. Or just BMN and buy the call surge. Be messing around with stuff. Yeah, I like this one here. Where can we go, though? Yeah, once it gets going, then I'll do it. This is the 10-day, 10-minute. It's about to break out. Yeah, I think there was a trade here somewhere. Maybe we'll wait for Monday. Today's option expiration, folks, by the way. Weird things happen. This is actually regular option expiration, not weeklies. As weeklies and dailies, obviously. BE, that looks decent. IREN looks okay. Tested the chart once. Still in a downtrend, obviously. Rigetti looks interesting, too. That definitely looks interesting. Let's take a look at that one. January. Stock is 23. Let's sell the 23 puts. Buy the 23 calls. Sell the 30 calls for 14-cent credit. No, I don't like it. Don't like it. Sell the 23 calls, buy the 25 calls. 40-cent credit. Yeah, I may just do that, put on a synthetic like that. So a couple of stocks from the hybrid list, not the 52-week high list. Okay, anyway, so that's where we are. Let's see if we can roll these things. I don't know. I want to get it signed, actually. Take another 500 shares, go up to 4,000 shares. My cost basis on this is going to be 7 minus 65 cents, 635. We're right at it. So I don't mind, buying another 500 shares. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Where do I have this order at? It's 65 cents. 60 cents. Oh, no, I don't want to do it for less than 60 cents. Definitely not for less than 60 cents. 60 cents should be doable. 65, 125. 55 is doable. Well, why do I even want to mess with it? Just get a sign. Screw it. If I don't do it at 60 cents, I'll get a sign. I'll take 500 more shares. That's fine. That is just fine. Actually, Rigetti also has a bullish divergence potential here. Okla is the best looking bullish divergence I've seen for a while. Yep. Interesting. Very interesting. Past 1615. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Fundamentally, technically, every which way. This is another one. PLAB is another one. I like these looking stocks. Amcor is another one. Yeah, that's just kind of off the 20 MA bounce back kind of a situation happening there. Yeah, these are all possible trades. I'm just going to look at it and then execute it. Anyhow, that's where we are. That's where we are. Let's go to the front, answer some questions. Okay. FSL maybe good close. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm just waiting. I mean, that may be a good actually synthetic candidate, or just buy the shares outright. Never trust a male who talks a lot. Okay, take your word for it. I don't think anything personally. I run a massive YouTube channel on another side, and It's all good. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely part of it because their major cost is obviously jet fuel, which is made out of crude oil. There's that. That's why I'm not a huge fan of airlines, but then they have been uptrending and oil has been downtrending for all this time. So there was that trade right there. Um, I agree. Is there a bank stock that looks good to you? They're all doing well. I mean, they're all just chugging along, higher highs, higher lows. Take your pick, you know? Not really. Don't have a favorite, but we can go through a few. Um, and go through a few. One that Warren Buffett has been selling or sold out of is Bank of America. I mean, there you go, slow and steady. The other thing that is just kind of interesting is TLT, right? Interest rates are actually going higher in the US while the Fed is cutting interest rates. Very interesting. Very interesting what's going on. Oh, we didn't go through the usual suspects, MSTR. I mean, 165 hardly up. It I don't know if they're going to test it or not, but IBIT trying to bottom here, or it's trying. It really is. So we'll see. That's there's a potential bullish divergence on Ethereum and Solana and Bitcoin, by the way. 50 bucks. Retesting the low, trying to put a base. If we roll over here and make lower lows, watch out. We'll probably 75,000 on BTC, which is fine. I'll just keep adding DCA anyway. This is ETHA. This is Ethereum. Yesterday certainly looked like going to hell, and today it's kind of bouncing back a little bit. That's how bottoms are put in. So, but we're on a downtrend without a question. Without a question, we're in a downtrend. So, bank stocks, Wells Fargo, new 52-week high. I mean, they're like nice and steady. They're probably some of the regionals. Zion Bank was on the list. Zion's Bank, look at that, right? And the big names, obviously, Goldman's, and that's about to go to make a new high. It looks like it. It's consolidated, made a new high at 920, pulled back to 870, on its way back up. JP Morgan, same thing. That looks like maybe, I mean, bank stocks, you're not going to, we're talking less than 1 beta. So you're not going to get too much play out of it because if you're used to Rocket Lab and things like that, bank stocks will be boring to most people. Citicorp is making a 52-week high. They're all looking the same. That's interesting, though. That's because I just looked at the TLT, right, which is the interest rates. Interest rates are going up while bank stocks are going up. Bank stocks go up with the expectation of rates going down, so their margin gets better, right? But then they're borrowing on the short end, lending on the long end, so their margins are pretty good. So, or which one is this is the XLE. XLE is not XLE. XLF, right? Financials. Yeah, there you go. You can do the ETF game on that one. Regional bank index, there's one, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, not a favorite. That's why I didn't put it in my 52-week high list. Anyway, folks. What else? Anything else? Any other questions? Yeah, FSLY, I definitely am interested in that. Let's go through my list of, I don't know how many there are. Well, let's see what we got here. Okay. 52-week high. I'm up to 48 stocks. Alcoa is in there. It's up $3 today, up 7%. A lot of stocks are in there that I wouldn't expect it to be there, but they are. So that's Alcoa. Beautiful 52-week high list. American Eagle Outfitters. Affirm is in there. Albemarle is in there. It's melting up at the moment. You know, none of these are to be chased, right? Just wait for pullbacks on these. Amcor is in there. Allegheny Technologies, ATI. Yeah, well, actually, on the members yesterday, remember we talked about this, right? The little bull flag that it built and just breaking out. This is all chopsticks, folks, technicals. Brunswick is in there. Sienna, obviously, we talked about. CUK, Carnival. Oh, that's melting up. Carnival. That's Caribbean, right? Carnival Cruise Lines. Earnings are out today. That looks nice. 52-week high. There we go. Wait for a pullback. We'll get on. What are the other ones? CCL. Not CCL. Yeah, CCL, Carnival Corp. That's the same though. CCL, NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Yeah, they're all coming. And RCL, which is Royal Caribbean. That's got some room. It's not on a 52-week high list, but it kind of looks decent. Once the groups are like this, you just got to pay attention to it. Estee Lauder is in that group. Yeah, I pulled back perfectly to 100, back up to 110. Okay. Freeport McMoran. Fastly. I like it. I like the stock quite a bit. Just waiting for my time for it to start moving. If we're going to buy options on these things, we've got to time it properly. Or you can sell puts, start selling puts. Gildan Activewear made a 52-week high. Wait for the pullback. Lumentum, we missed this trade. I just made a 52-week high, pullback exactly to 20 MA. $40, $50 rally already. All right, I'm just gonna be patient. Magna, that's nice. Open Door, we're on the bottom of the range. I drew the chopsticks on that one. I don't know. We'll wait until the breakout on that one. UiPath. Yeah, there's a gap about 15.5 here. Is it going to correct that? I don't know. Volume is disappearing actually. We'll wait a couple more days. SanDisk. That looks about ready to go. Timken, which is TKR. I like this one quite a bit actually. Okay, we got to look at that. That'll go make a 52-week high shortly. Textron. Just made a 52-week high actually a couple days ago. Okay. WPM. That's a gold stock. What's gold doing? About to make a new high. About to make a new high. NUGT making about the new high. Yeti is in that list as well. Last one. Yeti Surge, not Yay. That was nice. Went up to 46, pulled back to the 42 range, back up to 44. Okay. This is going to work beautifully. This is not new to me, by the way. So, but I think we're done. there's no clue, I'll answer some questions and then I'll just do my thing. Where are we? 6:26 on BMNU. Yeah, let's see where it's at 1 p.m. Not much to do, really. Not much to do. Yep, not much to do. Wait for the 6s to expire worthless. They're expiring today. If I can roll the 7s, I will. If I can't, I'll get assigned. No problem. I roll the 8s to 7s. Calls expire worthless. Do we even bother looking at selling calls in this? No. Maybe New Year's we'll sell some calls. January. I sold 8, 9, 10 calls. 8, 9, 10s. They're 78, 70 cents, 50 cents. Not worth it. Picking up pennies in front of the bulldozer. No, we're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to do that. And that's it. I'll have a cup of coffee. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah, they look nice. I mean, earnings were good. Inflation resistant companies are saying, so you have all the other ones moving. So maybe that group is going to move, right? NCLH and RCL. Good morning. What a life, yeah. Good life. Life is precious, man. Life is precious. Don't question it. There are people in much worse shape than we are. So always be thankful. So yeah, I'm going to keep it short today. If there's no more questions and nobody wants to come on, I'm going to leave. And I'll see you guys on Monday, Trading with Sergio. And 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Please put a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys on Monday.